All right, this is part two of CPS My Story. And I guess this is where I'm going to talk about how I met Chelsea. Uh, I was walking down Webster Street in Oakland. Uh, I just passed Broadway, and she was on her way to work. And she was a beautiful girl. She was, uh, she looked really good. And I was like, walking, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, that broad is bad. And when I walked past her, I turned around so I could check her out. Well, she was doing the same thing to me. And then we both kind of laughed, and then uh, I stopped and I said, "Hey, uh, hey, come back here for a minute," you know. And she said, I'm kind of late for work, man. I really don't got the time, but if you want a number, I'll give you my number. I said, "Shit, shoot it." And I called her actually, uh, it was probably 3 days later. I didn't call her. She started calling up where I was staying at, which is on 24th in Oakland. Uh, and she was inquiring about what is this? Some type of drug program? What's going on here? You know, what's really going on? So then Steve gave me, the message. And so I called up. Said, "What the hell? What's that about, man?" I said, "This ain't no drug program. Uh, that's where I stay. That's my buddy." She goes, "Oh, okay." So we decided to meet at the Oakland police station. Uh, as a, you know, I guess she wanted to meet in a safe place, you know, somewhere in public, right? Uh, I suggested the police station. It was kind of weird, because I figured she was walking, so she probably worked somewhere around there. I didn't know where, but common sense made me believe that, she's somewhere close to there, so shit, just say the police station. So I said, "Hey, uh, let's meet at the police station." And then we met in the afternoon, and we chopped it up. I was excited. I was really excited. I was happy. Uh, I was in awe. I was like, damn, man, this is a really beautiful woman. But anyway, so Caden, this is how I met your mom, and this is how everything became to be. All right, I want you to know this. Because some of this stuff right now, I'm gonna say, it definitely wasn't healthy, and it was red flags, but it was something that I felt like, I could work through, right? So, but she told me that she was a pill popping animal, and she just was drinking like a fish. And she'll tell you that too. I drink like a fish, and I'm a pill popping animal. Uh, she was forthright, so I was just like, you know what? I can respect that, and I could see that. But that ain't really kind of like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, this kind of ain't really something that you want to latch on to. But if you want to have fun and just, for a little while, then just go ahead. That was my thinking. I'm not going to commit to nothing like that. I'm just going to have some fun, and whatever happens, happens. Uh, so we're drinking in Snow Park in Oakland and sitting on a bench, and I'm kind of buzzed. I didn't take no pills or nothing like that, but I got, I'm kind of buzzing on some alcohol, and uh, I'm feeling good, you know. But I could tell that she was feeling a lot better. Uh, and uh, when I have to be careful because like I said, these are going to be left, and they're always going to be there, and I have to be careful with what I say because I don't want to hurt anybody, not Chelsea, not anybody involved, not Caden, anybody. I just want to be as honest as I possibly can, right? Uh, you know, and at that time, uh, there was no intention for me to even want to be in a relationship. I was just like, what, fuck it. But over a period of time, so I mean, it was very fast. The alcohol, I'm sure, fueled it, and with her, the pills and all that. So that situation unfolded pretty quick, and she took me to her house. Probably that day, that day, and and so we're at Snow Park, and we're going on Harrison, and she's just right there, right down the street from Snow Park. Uh, so she takes me into her apartment, and we had sex. It was, like I said, pretty quick, and I had fun. I dug her. She was fun. Uh, you know, she was humorous. Uh, she was cocky. She was also uh, she had an innocent way about her. And that was one of the things that kind of like uh, attracted me to her. Because even though the underlying things that are going on with the Vicodin pills and the alcohol, that's not innocent shit, but she was able to like portray this type of innocence that I found attractive. Uh, that's a whole nother issue, because uh, why would I want to be attracted to that? Is it if you understand what I'm trying to say, I'm not trying because I don't want, like I said, I don't want to cause any type of fucking harm to anybody, right? So, but uh, at that time, uh, I wasn't working, and I had just uh, I was on parole. I was on parole. I forget what it was. See, I've been on parole many times, but at this particular time, I think it was the P number. I had a I had a D number. I had a J number, and I had a P number. Uh, so that's numbers that I had. The J. Okay. Well, anyway, so um, I'm gonna try. So in these videos, I only get a certain amount of time. Like it was like 30 minutes for the last one, and it took a long time to try to upload that, right? So I think you get 15 minutes or something like that. So I'm at 10 minutes right now, so I'm trying to hurry this up. So and I'm having a problem, but I'll work it through. All right, so but I am next time gonna have notes. So I'm gonna deal me this time here, and but I'll have notes next time. So uh, I don't know. Caden. Um, so the first person that I met uh, outside of Chelsea was her mom. Her mom is named Kat, and she was asking Chelsea if she can stay with her. Uh, she needed a place. She was doing crack uh, with somebody else, and it was just all bad. She was like a caretaker kind of person, caregiver thing going on. She working weekends. That was it. Uh, but she needed a place to stay, and so uh, I have to go back up a little bit because the first person really I met was Cat, yeah, but then I met but at Chelsea's place at Harrison Street, it, there was Chelsea's other sister. I just will refer to her as C1. Okay. She's the oldest, so uh, she's C1. And then there'll be another one later on. I'll just call C4. No, C3. No, C4. Yeah. Well, there's see that's another thing too because all they all have the name first names with the C, right? So I just don't know where Chaz fits in, the order of siblings, So, but anyway, uh, C1 was staying over there on Harrison Street uh, with her boyfriend. Good guy. Uh, and so it's a studio. So I mean, it wasn't like I was gonna, be there a lot. Uh, she was just helping him out, right? And so I wasn't trying to like impede on none of that kind of stuff. So I kind of didn't see her for a while. Actually, I didn't. I just didn't want to impose myself on anything. I just stay out the way. And so but I would go there occasionally and see her and stuff, and then we had sex a few more times and whatnot. I mean, I really started liking her more and more, and I became kind of like catching some feelings. And I wanted to be around her more and more. And then but it was kind of hard to do that, when C1, her sister, and her boyfriend are there. So, uh, but I mean, so she lost that place. She lost that place, the, her studio on Harrison. At this point, Caden is not even in the womb yet or nothing like that. It's just she lost a place, and it was just part of the experiences of what happened with her. So, but me, uh, I kind of was familiar with uh, this organization that helps out, tenants on evictions and stuff, and but she got an eviction. I think I'm not 100% sure, but uh, she was still working, and uh, she worked two jobs. At this time, she worked at Cockadoodle Doo, which is a little restaurant on Washington, and then she worked at Grand Oaks Bar and Grill on Grand Avenue. Uh, she worked hard. Uh, I would walk with her to work sometimes, and I would walk her home. Uh, I tried to be as closest to her as I could, and like on days off, we would, go whatever, walk around somewhere. And it was just to, like, to get to know each other type of thing. Uh, and we, got closer and closer. Uh, as the eviction happened, she wound up renting, like, there was a hotel. It's a they call it Lake Merritt Lodge. That's what they used to call it. I don't know what they call it now, but that's where. Uh, so her and her mother stayed at the Lake Merritt Lodge, right across the street from where Steve stayed. So Steve is where I was staying at, and so I was, stay at Steve's. Steve actually, so how it really boiled down, he was helping me out, and like I said, when I first uh, met Chelsea, I was just getting out of prison, so I did not really have a place to live. Uh, I wasn't trying to impose on anybody, right? But however, Steve, let me stay in the parking lot there on 24th Street. A good friend of mine, he let me stay in his Volvo that had, a little thing in the back. It was a nice Volvo. Uh, and but it was, I really hadn't started working yet. I was kind of doing little small odd jobs and everything, but I wasn't like doing anything. I was too afraid to like go do crime or anything like that. I never, like I said, I wasn't doing drugs at this time. I was only drinking alcohol. Um, uh, so uh, she's at Lake Merritt motel, hotel, whatever you want to call it, and she's working at Cockle Doo in the mornings, and then working at uh, Grand Oaks at night. Uh, and she stayed at the Lake Merritt Lodge for like maybe a month or two. But her and her mother uh, saved up, and they found a place on Jackson Street in Oakland. A little one and a half little bedroom thing. So her and her mother got there, and uh, they got a spot, and I got to know Chelsea more. I would go stay the night over there and get to know Kat and all that stuff, and I would do some side work, like, little, odds and end kind of a thing, helping somebody out. And I didn't have like a full time job, I had been working on it, uh, uh, but nothing ever materialized, so, uh, but I wasn't, mooching or, I was just, Steve would help me out once in a while, like, but I'd always pay back whatever, I borrow from him. Uh, all right, so we're getting to the point here where, so, like I said, Caden, I'm just really saying what it was like with me and your mom. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you. It was it was good. It was, there was red flags there, uh, but I looked past it, and I saw some, in my thinking. I saw, a hurt woman, sure, but I got hurt too, I got a lot of pain too, so it was kind of like, I could identify with some of her hurt, and so I was cool with that, and I wasn't trying to fucking tell her, what to do or anything like that, uh, but what at some point, during that time, I don't know how, where it happened, but um, Caden, we learned about Caden, and she was pregnant. Uh, she was pregnant, and she was gonna have a kid, and so my first thing was, I have two girls already, with two different women, uh, so it's, I want to have a kid, uh, what kind of sucks is that, just because I am a father does not mean that I'm a father, really, Uh, when it comes to my daughters, Caden's sisters, I have not been there. I've at a lot of the times, Uh, in fact, just, to give you a little thing, about Caden's sister, Ashley. Uh, she was born. I think it was. See, I can't really remember. I just know that she was born November 27th. Uh, that's the day. Uh, but I don't know the year. Uh, I want to say like. Anyways, I don't know the year, but her name is Ashley, and I met I met Sonia, who is Ashley's mother, uh, and I was. This is in 1990 or 90 or 89, somewhere in there. 1990, I think it was. I just got out of prison. Uh, and I had paroled uh, from Susanville and went to Oakland. And uh, at that time, uh, parole used to pay for vouchers for hotels. So I had a spot. I had the Webster Street Hotel, or what, I forget what it was called, man. I forget. Anyways, I know. I know. I need to. I get so motivated and inspired to do this shit, and I start and I think, but then the reality of it is that I don't have no notes, so there's nothing for me to draw back on, and I get that, you know. Uh, so, Caden, but this is, like I said, this is also a better way for me and you to get to know each other, you know, really. Uh, from, uh, well, you'll get to see, who I am as a person, you know, and maybe you can identify with me in some type of way, like, man, that dude's cool or whatever, you know. So, like I said, this is for you. These videos are for you, you know. And I'm not really trying to impress anybody. I'm just trying to tell a story, but at the same time, I don't want to tell it in such a way to where I hurt anybody, you know, including you, you know. So, but I want to be truthful, you know. It is what it is, you know, and um, so yeah, maybe I am, you know, short on my thoughts or getting kind of stuck, you know, whatever it might be. That's okay because you know what's up, and this is for you. So I mean, this ain't for anybody else. So I mean, I need to get that in my head too, you know. Uh, so these videos are for you. They're meant for you to one day see them. Uh, and to look at your father, me, and say, then, so that's what happened, huh? Or so that's what's going on, you know? I want, you know, to try to get as much of this uh, information, stories, whatever you might want to call it, you know, I just want to get these thoughts that I have, you know, about you and everything. I want to get them to you in some type of way. That's what this is all about, you know. Uh, so, Caden, you know, I just bear with me, okay? Like I said in the last video, man, I had that stroke and I get kind of, my cognitive is really fucking bad at times, you know? It's really bad in the later part of the day, and in the day, you know, because I need to take a nap, you know? So, but anyway, uh, Chelsea got a new place on Jackson Street and living with her mom, and that's your mom. You're living with, she's living with Grandma Cat, uh, and you know your mom. That's who's living there. And occasionally I'd come by, might spend the night, whatever. Uh, on the weekends, Cat would work and she worked as a caregiver, so she lived there on the weekends at the place that she took care of. So I would always stay there with your mom uh, on Jackson Street in the tiny little 1.5 little bedroom, uh, and but at some point it was in that during that time when, like I said, uh, we learned that you were coming, uh, and me knowing this, uh, I told Chelsea, I said, "Hey, are are we gonna keep the baby? You know, what's your thoughts?" And I told her mine. I said, you know, hey, I don't know what it is, you know, but you know, if it's a boy, uh, I would really, really love to have that boy. Um, at the same time, you know, I already had, you know, two girls, so and the other sister. Okay, so look, this is CPS My Story Part Two. I'm gonna have to close this video right now, Caden, because uh, I'm already down at 29 minutes, and so I'm gonna have to let it go. I love you, baby. I love you, buddy. more than you would ever know, man. I miss you so much. So, uh, I love you, kid. Remember that.